Brett, quick, I have to go.
But we haven't even started the podcast.
Yeah, but I want that new Litecoin game. So,
what
bye.
Litecoin game?
Shut up, I have to go.
Firstly, you shut up. And secondly, they haven't released any game.
I don't want to miss out.
Ah, the fear of missing out. That's what you've got. What else are you scared of?
Well, coughing, black noise, white noise, spiders, small animals, small spiders coughing up black and white noise.
Okay, but they haven't released a game called Litecoin.
Well, I don't want to miss out.
Well, if they release one, I'll let you know.
Sweet! The spiders!
Welcome to WTF is CryptoSpace. I'm Brett.
And I'm Chad.
This podcast is all about the crypto space.
Remember, you can find our Facebook group by searching CryptoSpace. If you join that group, we can continue this conversation there and answer any questions you have during the week.
And review this podcast and give it a 5-star rating on iTunes. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button. It would really help us out.
Also, Brett's Twitter handle is at WTFCrypto, and mine is Chad Shuttle Muso.
Chad, we now have over 1,250 downloads.
Buzz! Thank you, guys. Crazy. So what are we like? This is episode 11? Heck yeah!
Yeah, it's been a huge week. It's our biggest thus far. Yeah. And thank you to all those new subscribers and downloaders.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, and a special shout out, our highest represented town this week of Pittsburgh, PA, United States.
Nice.
A huge thank you to those listeners spreading the word to their friends and family, because they definitely made up a few numbers this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
And reach out to us. We would love to thank you directly. That'd be awesome, guys. Yeah. And a quick note to apologize for the error we made in shortening the podcast, that we uploaded a new version the same day that we were able to be notified. So thank you to those. Yeah,
thank you for notifying us. Sometimes when I edit, it's late at night, so I apologize. Anyway, well, let's get straight into our first segment, and our first segment is Fuck!
And Chad, what does fuck stand for?
Frequently asked questions. Actually, today we've decided to make this into a little bit longer and make it into our blockchain lingo edition. So that means we're going to go through a bunch of things you probably have heard us talk about and other people talk about on their podcasts and their YouTubes, but you might not know what it means, and I don't either. So here is the first one, Brett. What is FOMO?
So FOMO, this stands for fear of missing out, and it's usually referencing the chasing by newbies to the crypto space as the price of Bitcoin and other currencies move higher, or not being a part of the CryptoParty as this starts to take off.
Which is, this is obviously a good time to get involved. So another question is, what is an altcoin?
Okay, Chad, an altcoin is an alternative coin to Bitcoin. So it's a term given to a broad range of non-top tier coins or tokens that we don't really know much about their brand enough to talk about.
So it's like telling a story about a friend of a friend's second cousin, and, you know, when they were at the bonfire and they saw the bonfire, then they left the bonfire. It's kind of like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Yeah. All right. We will take sponsorship from any Bitcoin. Sorry, not Bitcoin, but any other currency that needs to sponsor and get their name out. We're here to help. The next one is FUD. Is it FUD or food?
No,
Feud?
FUD.
FUD. What is FUD?
This stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And the spreading of FUD on any topic is not good.
No, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Heck no. All right, so...
Stirring up crap.
It looks like you've done a typo here. What is HODL?
Yeah,
HODL?
Chad.
HODL?
HODL. HODL is referencing to holding on a Bitcoin forum. So a drunk guy a few years ago was posting on bitcointalk.org, and he spelt it wrong. So, you know, check out the post
and it's
below.
stuck.
Yeah, and it has. So it's one of those nice little sub-language ones, yeah.
A lot of a country's legislation was actually also written by drunk people. The next one is, what is BEEP or EEP?
Okay, BIP or EIP. So
EIP,
it stands for Bitcoin Improvement Proposal or Ethereum Improvement Proposal, depending on which network. So a Bitcoin Improvement Proposal is a design document for introducing features or information to Bitcoin. This is the standard way of communicating ideas since Bitcoin doesn't have a formal structure.
Okay. Well, I think there's bag holder. What is a bag holder?
Yeah, look, this is not exclusively a CryptoSpace term. This is an investor who has been hodling for too long and is left to face the consequences. So it also refers to many pump and dump schemes involving thinly traded altcoins, cryptocurrencies that aren't Bitcoin, which function more like penny stocks on the scene. So a versatile term that can be used to refer to holders of state-issued fiat currency, for example.
Yep. Okay. I think we've got two more. Okay. What is a Satoshi? Now, Brett, before you start, I'm aware that Satoshi Nakamoto is the author of the paper that originated Bitcoin and the creator of the original Bitcoin client. However, I often hear the term like Satoshi as if it was like a monetary unit. So what's a Satoshi?
Okay, so a Satoshi is the smallest fraction of a Bitcoin that can currently be sent. So that's 0.000. Hang on, let me start again. 0.000. No. Anyway, it's a lot of numbers behind it.
Yeah, it's a lot of. I can see it's like a unity symbol plus a couple of other things.
Yeah, look, hang on. It's 100th of a millionth of a Bitcoin.
That's okay. Well, it's very small.
Exactly. And so in the future, however, the protocol may be updated to allow further subdivisions that should be needed. But the good thing about this means that as the size of the value of Bitcoin as an individual Bitcoin increases, the smaller units of account will come into play as people trade these Satoshis or millibits or micro Bitcoin or, 1 BTC, like we said before, BTC might be traded between countries in due course.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. But as the price and the value or the value against other currencies like fiat currencies goes up,
well said,
then the amount of that let's say the Satoshis are worth is going to go up. So then they're going to be, part of the money that you actually want to. So they'll be like the 5 cents. They
exactly,
they will,
absolutely.
They'll have value and they'll be used. That's why we got rid of 2s and 1s, but Satoshis. And the last question is, why do I have to pound that like button? Ooh, I know this one. It's because the Bitcoin Meister said to. Well, we're going to move on to the second segment of today's show. It's a thing I like to call Price Update with Chad. Thanks, Chad. You're welcome. All right, today we're going to go over to coinmarketcap.com. Coinmarketcap.com is a place to find all the currencies in the crypto space and where they're at, prices and stuff. And we haven't actually done that update for a while, so we're going to do that because some things are getting crazy out there right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, we're flicking on to the next leg up of Bitcoin and the crypto space.
Now, you said something about 9 things had done something today. Is that?
Yeah. So the good news is that we're now got nine cryptos. The first 9 large cryptos now have a market cap of $1 billion. They joined the $1 billion club.
Yeah, but I'm just looking at number 4. Wasn't NEM at number 4 before?
Yeah, absolutely. New addition to the mix. We've got Bitcoin Cash, who arrived in the middle of the night on August the 1st.
Okay. So that's why we dropped our our episode one day early. Is that right?
Yes, we dropped that on just to make sure that everybody got their public service announcement, or PDA, as we were talking
PSA.
PSA. And
PDA. PDA is either a personal like digital assistant, or public displays of affection.
Well
which
done.
you can do that anyway, but it's like an electronic.
I think there were a few public
displays
displays of affection when they got that extra money. It's like an extra bonus that they got.
Hell yeah! So was it like a split, or is it just like a new thing?
It's a hard fork.
It's a hard fork. So, I didn't realize a hard fork. Is it on the same blockchain as the Bitcoin?
No. So then they started from the same origin.
Yeah.
But now with the hard fork, there's now two separate coins.
What? Well, that's probably, depending on what's going to happen, that could be something to look at, do some research about, because I can see right now, and this is just 24 hours, it's at like 27.44% change.
True. But between August the 1st and just before here, it lost 75% of its value. So it did get as high as $1,400 at one stage on one or two of the markets. But the problem was that there was an upsuck from the trading, because not everybody could access their Bitcoin cash, nor could they get Bcash onto the exchanges to trade.
Yeah, because the wallets, that's not really set up for the wallets or anything at the moment.
No,
right?
so so if you had a hard wallet, you were safe as.
Yeah.
And so that's why we were warning against Coinbase, Poloniex, ACX.io, CoinMate. They all had made the decision, and some, Poloniex now have some serious things to consider with their terms and conditions, and who's going to utilize them. It's one of those beautiful things about the free market. People will pull their coins off, and they just won't put them back. If
the other thing about that is it sounds like when it went to 1,000, that's like artificial inflation. Is that what that's called?
Yeah, it's a lot of quick trading backwards and forwards. I would imagine between the same buddies, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Brett, you and I are just going to kind of a chat about some stuff. What's the difference between value and price?
So, Chad, price is really focused on an increase in the dollar value. So, like you were saying before, you were doing the report. Bitcoin's 3,400 USD. It's hitting an all-time high.
Yep.
But the price fluctuates. It might go anywhere. It's been in the last month, it's been from 1,800 or 1,900 USD to 3,400, which is where we are now. So that's quite a lot of fluctuation in price. But there hasn't been much change in value. So value is more about then the increase in the amount of users and the use of the network itself. That's the increase in value.
Okay. And one of the biggest things about the Bitcoin is now, please correct me if I'm wrong, because this is the thing I'm thinking about. Bitcoin is more of a place where money is held and used to transact, whereas like Ethereum and Ether is actually used to do functions and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can turn, essentially, ETH works like gas for the system in order to get the thing going.
Yeah. So, and actually, but like we were talking about in the earlier stages of the podcast, Steam it as well. Yeah,
sure. Getting paid in Steam is a function. Yeah, absolutely. So therefore, those have quite good network effects. They have good value because people are using the system.
Yeah. Okay. So growth, potential, and network. All right. Owning a fraction of a Bitcoin is far better than owning many coins tokens. This is not investment advice, only common mathematical sense. Begin to transfer at least some of your wealth into the crypto space to hodl your wealth against the devaluing Australian dollar or fiat currencies, so US dollars and stuff like that. Learn to evolve and create value for others to generate wealth for you and your family. Bonus, if you can get paid in an appreciating asset like cryptocurrency, that's killer, right? That's killer.
Exactly. And look, for our Australian listeners, especially out there, it's important to begin to sort of make preparations, but it's really important that, people take this opportunity because there are going to be huge entrepreneurial opportunities, especially around open source technology. And there are new regional opportunities like the ones that are opening up in Western Australia to do with silver mining. But there is also some really interesting things happening with the less explored southern lands in this not too distant future, which people might be excited about. But look, at the end of the podcast, I say the words, the transition has begun. And sometimes I feel like quoting A Few Good Men when I think that people genuinely can't handle the truth. Or say, to quote Robert Kiyosaki, information is like water and your context is the glass. You can only take in so much information without expanding your context. I think Robert sometimes needs to take a little bit of this on in his older age with this huge paradigm shift that we've got going into this new economy. But look, the new economy is springing up beside the old fiat economy. The crypto space and information about it is now becoming conversation, and it's now beginning to leak into conversations amongst the wider community. So this is not going to go away as a concept, especially the millions of open source ideas and entrepreneurial evolution that's sort of gaining momentum. All those ideas that are being dreamed up for the future of the crypto space. What do you think, Chad?
Yeah, I think it's with anything, like, think about the iPad, right? Think about, not even the iPad. Let's think about the iPod back in the day.
Oh, yes.
Now, like, the cassette was, what, probably 5 inches in diameter, across, diagonally. And then you got this little thing that was like black and white screen. You could scroll. It was kind of like a mini computer, and you had like every single song you've ever wanted, plus all the songs you could gain off your mates and stuff like that. Then we turned that, that idea into a phone, and then that phone became an iPad, and it's like a moving computer. And like, just between when I was a kid and you were a kid, and we had like dial-up at home.
Okay.
To we are like, what, 15 years or maybe 20 years down the track, and we now have all this technology. This is going to move a lot faster and a lot quicker, and it's probably going to be hopefully adapted a lot sooner by the younger generation and people that are kind of got a little bit of extra money sitting around, fiat currency sitting around, because this is going to be... we're just going to be using this. This is it. We're the crypto space. This is basically going to be the future of currency. This is the future of technology. This is the future of everything. So, honestly, this is, again, we're not a financial advisor, but you'd be friggin' stupid to not get involved, if you know what I mean, because this is the ground level. Bitcoin has been around since 2008, but things are springing up, like Ether was in like 2013, I think, or something like that. Bitcoin showed the world. It was kind of like, when people go for a world record, right? And they can't get it. Then someone goes, I'm going to beat it. They beat it. And then you see 10 other people beat that world record.
Oh, all at the same time, just because it's
all
like
at the same time, because someone broke it.
Yeah.
Someone broke that barrier. So do yourself a favor. Do a little bit of research, get involved in the crypto space, because this is the future, people, and it's here. The future is tomorrow. The future is now. Now is the future. And it's not that dystopian 1984 dystopian future. We're still able to like have families and like eat what we want and have an Xbox, Chad, and all that sort of stuff. We're not brainwashed. So this is the best time to buy into the crypto space, because it's the future. That's it. That's my rant. That's my rant for the day. And also, don't let your friends and family suffer from FOMO, fear of missing out, or FUD, fear,
uncertainty,
and
doubt.
Doubt. That's that one. Because they need the facts so they can head this direction. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen, guys. So do a lot of research and show this podcast to your friends. And this is not a plug. This is just so people around you start talking to you, because when it starts to really roll on, you want those people beside you to talk to.
Yeah, this information is coming, like, it's going to be a tsunami. It's going to unfold, come fast and with gusto. Look, the only thing I was going to add, and mine's not huge, but I was just going to say a bit of a quote. Heraclitus, he's the pre-Socrates Greek philosopher. He supposedly once said that change is the only constant in life.
I love it. I love it. It's so true.
And look, to highlight the need of all of us, we always have to plan for and be ready for change in all aspects of our life. But
and the biggest thing is, don't fear change, because it's going to happen. Just get the knowledge, learn about it. That's what this podcast is all about. So I think it's time to wrap up. So guys, thank you so much for listening. Like us once, comment twice, and share the link of our podcast on your social medias and websites. I'm actually talking about websites, Brett. We're working on a website, aren't we?
You bet.
We are working on a website to run in the near future, so you'll be able to get your podcast there. You'll be able to talk there. We'll have our feeds and everything up there.
I can even tell you what the URL is.
What is the URL?
WTFcryptospace.com.
Buzz. Well,
shh! Don't tell anybody.
I won't. But if you guys want to get on the newsletter before then, search the Facebook group CryptoSpace. That is our name now, CryptoSpace, and say that you want to be a part of the newsletter, and we can get that out to you. Also, remember that you can tweet Brett at WTFCryptoSpace.
Or can I ask you some questions during the week, John? You can get Chad at Chad Shuffle Muso.
Yeah. Good luck with asking questions.
But remember, review this podcast and give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. If you are on YouTube, hit that like button. It really encourages us to continue to create podcasts for your listening pleasure.
Also, click subscribe to this podcast to get your weekly podcast updates from us knuckleheads, and you'll get your podcast in your podcast feed every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. But until next time, I'm Chad.
And I'm Brett.
Let's get excited about the crypto space.
The transition has begun.
There was a bunch of things in there that I still don't know what mean. I'm going to have to get back and
Chad, can I make a recommendation?
What?
You should
podcast.
You should tune into our podcast.
I'll just listen to it again. I think that's going to happen.